Our demonstrator tonight is Guilio Marcolongo. Guilio has the distinction of having been born in Italy and moved to Australia at the age of 4. He lives in Woodturned, Australia, which I think is an Aboriginal word which means wind and rain. Is that right?
Yep.
Woodturned is right on the bottom of Australia. If you look at Tasmania, which is the island just south of Australia, and just go north from it, you'll hit Woodturned, but you'll miss it if you blink, because it's not very big. Guilio has the distinction of having demonstrated all over the place. He was responsible for setting up the turnaround, say it.
Down under turnaround.
Down under turnaround, which is a turning situation in Australia where they get about 80 lathes and a whole bunch of people, and they spend a few days just turning together, and Guilio was one of the founders of that.
I'm the founder.
He is the founder. He has demonstrated, I think, 9 times at Turnfest in Australia. He's demonstrated at the AAW Symposium. He's demonstrated a number of times at the Utah Woodturning Symposium. He's going to be demonstrating there again next week. He's demonstrated at clubs all over the country. I think he's been in the U.S., what, 5 or 6 times?
I've been to Utah 11 times. So.
11 times to Utah, he says. Whoa, that's got to be some kind of a record. As I mentioned earlier, I've had the pleasure of watching him work in my workshop all this week. He's one of the most creative woodturners I've ever seen, with the use of really interesting form, really interesting color. He carves. He does some very unusual things. Buddy, this is going to cost you a lot more than $1. So it's really a pleasure to have him here tonight. I also want to emphasize again that he's going to be here on Saturday all day. We've got plenty of room. I encourage you to come. It'll be a fun day. Thanks, Guilio. How much is it?
Thank you.
25.
Thank you. Thanks, Tom. We really don't deserve that. I know I've been all over the place and done a lot of things, but I still consider myself one of you people. What we do in the workshop, we every now and then we come across an idea that becomes something different, and that's what I always strive for. And believe it or not, this last week I've been staying with Tom, I came up with this idea. I was in that hardware place,
Julio.
I thought about getting some magnets to put on the lathe while I'm working, and I can use to hold my tools. Then after I did that, I thought to myself, well, I reckon I can get something to stick on the lathe, for instance, you know, something like this sort of thing. We've got a magnet in it, and had 3 or 4. But that only happened this week. From a stupid idea came something totally different. And you'll see if you've got Facebook, I'll put a piece on there like that, because a guy that's been on my Facebook page for a long time, Roper, as you all know him, and he took a class. So I put this piece on it, and I called the Roper tree, because he inspired me. He came from this wood. Tonight we're going to be making a off-centered box out of cocobolo. The wood's been donated to me by Tom, so it's going to go to one who needs to be obeyed. I've already parted up the lid from the base. As a rule, normally the actual lid should be 1/3 in a box, the base 2/3. But in this case, you'll note that a lot of these boxes that I made, the lid is thick on one side and thin on the other. that's turned off centre. And of course, it was asked me then I couldn't work out how I did it. Well, when something is turned off centre, you always take off more of one side than the other. So let's go on with the lid. Hopefully it should only take about 4 hours. So any of you guys that have got a note, I'm quite willing to write you another note for your wife. It always works. So should have got a bigger tourist. We'll stand right back here to get the wood. So we'll get the load turned up fairly fast. I use the skew chisel to give me an empty point for my gouge. Maybe about there, just up those sticks. From there I get a small 12mm bolt gouge, there it is, or 10mm. A few cuts. Now I'm turning into end grain. And when you cut the end grain, you want a nice clean cut, you go from the centre out to the outside edge. When I get to the outside edge, I try and line up my foot so I get a nice parallel cut. Now to check if that is parallel, I'll get my vernier calipers, got my tool rest, and we'll have a look. Now it's touching at the back, not at the front, so therefore I've got to take wood away from the back of the edge of this indentation here. So I can do 2 ways. I can use my skew chisel, I can use my bolt gouge, I can use don't remember about that tool left it behind. That's good, that's good, I'm good. Oh no, there it is. This tool here, I think there's, I think Sorby's got something similar to that. I've had this now for quite some years now. What I'm going to do is, this cuts nice and clean all the way to the back. You'll see nice little shavers come out, and that should be nice and straight. We check it again. This is very important. If you find when you put your lid on it wants to pop off, it means it's big, it's small at the back, big in the front. If it wants to just plop down, you've undercut it too much. And if it's too loose, I call that French fit. Too loose for track, you've heard it. If it pop off, it's a Russian fit. So we'll just keep going on this and see if we've got it right. Nearly. There's about the thickness of the paper. So I'll take a little bit more off the back. You'll see why I've got this ground back on an angle, but when that point hits the back, only the point hits the back, not that edge. That edge hits that back, on the back there, on end grain, whack. It'll come off and hit you on the head. So let's have another look. That's good. So I want to clean up the inside. I'll do that with my skew chisel. When you put a gouge on wood, it always leaves a line. Always leaves a line. So this will right over the top of the tool marks. I'll put the chisel out the middle of it. And I'll go back and forward, back and forward, back and forward until all the lines that were there that I can see are gone. To me that's nice and clean. I'll clean up the front of it too. In the I put a gauge on there, it's still lead lines on there. Now nice and smooth, I can feel there's no lines on there whatsoever. So I'll hit that now with only 400 grit, 400 grit sandpaper. Should be sufficient, I think. Now, I've only gone in there about a quarter of an inch. I can't go any further because when I start taking the wood away, and I reduce one side of the box by 3/8 of an inch. If I go any further than 3/8 of an inch, I'll go through the lid. So I have to only go in about a quarter of an inch. So I think that should be good. I'll just check it again to make sure that it is nice and parallel, because if it's not, I'm going to have a lot of grief. You see, just a touch off, just a bit more off the back. There's half the thickness of a paper sitting there, so I really need to get that right. I've just got dust off there, look. Check it again. Any box makers here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't be scared, put your hand up. It's 5 years, very good. One over here, fantastic. It's just hard to make a good box, it is to make a good bowl. From here, I'm going to get my super glue out. And I'll use super glue. There it is, look at it. Super glue first. All those boxes you see there, every single one of those boxes, this is what I made at the other club the other night, all done the same way. And the pen turners have been doing it over here for many, many, many years. So super glue first. There it is, seals the wood. A lot of these woods that I use, Australian woods, are not perfectly dry. So I feel what this does is it saves the wood from losing its shape. Water can't come out of it. And it gives me a really nice fit for a long, long time. And also, it stays shiny for a long, long time. If I go and put, say, 10 or 12 or 20 coats on it, it would be just like polishing glass. But once I've done that, there's always a pebble in the middle of it. So the reason why I texture it is to hide the damn thing. So we use this thing called the Joe Wagner texturing tool. But the old Joe Wagner texturing tool only works at a fairly low speed with hardwoods, because it's got to enter the end grain. Now, in a lot of cases, these things start to squill. So you don't go putting oil on it like that. But a bit of tongue oil around then is really good. Went over the top of you, some of you blokes, I'm sure. There it is. Now whenever we put a texture on something, we always have to confine it within a line. So what I use is a 3.2, been around for many, many years. Used a lot by the bone turners of England, of many years gone by. Now I'm good, I'm good. Can you see what you guys? What about the cameras?
Yeah.
Put a little bit more super glue on the texture. I should have done that before I put the glue on there. So from here, I put a thing on there called Triple E. It's made in Australia by UV Polishers. Any wax will probably do, but this stuff's got rotten stone in it. It's really gritty wax. So we turn the light up really fast and we put it on like it belongs to someone else. Martin, there we go. Now the really good stuff is a thing called flow. You guys would know it over here as shallow wax. But in Australia, it is. No. This, you'll really see it shine. Yeah. And silky smooth. You want to feel, Harry? You tell him. I'm down to my last dollar though. So it's done. Look how bright that is. Nice and shiny. And the reason why it is a good finish is I've got a nice clean cut by using the skew chisel, backwards and forwards, over the ingrain, to get rid of all the torn grain, hopefully. Now from there we go to our base. I'll have a look, see if it's any good. It's not bad. Not good, but not bad. Of course, if you want a really good finish, you spend a lot more time on it. But to do that, it's all the light can take me 3 to 4 hours. So I'm going to get through it, basically as quick as I can. And if I finish early, I'll grab one of the bits of wood over there and make a bowl for you or something. A square one, not a round one. So there we're going to transform the measurement of our lid onto our base here. Now I'm taking the measurement on the inside of the box, lid. And to transfer the measurement onto the base, I will then mark the left-hand point, only left-hand point. I'll clean that up for you so that we can get it visually, because I'm easy for you guys to see on the camera. Again, I'm using the skew chisel. You notice the white disappeared. Where the white is where the torn grain is. Where the dark colour is perfectly smooth. So I'm going to put a measurement on there with my verniers. I mark the left-hand side only. The left-hand side only. The line I've created on the left hand lines up on the right hand point. I'm in the centre. Only mark the left hand, not the right hand. The marker marked on the left hand side lines up the right hand side. I'm in the centre. So from here we can use the skew chisel, we can cut it with the gouge, or we can use the parting tool. I prefer to use the parting tool. I'm only really going to go down there and have a spigot there for only about a quarter inch.
That's the zoom. Do away with the zoom, maybe? That's just supposed to be top photo here.
Yeah, notice I've still got the line there. I measured it. I thought I did a really good measurement, but I don't trust it. I know where I need to work to. If I can, I can leave half the line there, half the line. No good yet? No. I just have to go on very tight. Now I've torn the grain on the edge next to the spigot. I'm going to use the skew chisel again to clean up the see it's white there now? You'll see it go black, or dark. Good there. Let's see now if the lid fits. Not quite. I've got to be very careful here. If I take away, too much it'll be okay, but what I would be doing is I'd be reducing the size of the length of the box. Just scratch away this. I took very minimal amount of wood off. In fact, I took very little. The other thing we've got to watch too, we've got this little pimple in the middle. When I go and put that on there, it'll hit the base here, and it'll tell me the fit's no good, and I'll take a bit more off, and then it'll be loose. Really good. So we line up the grain, hopefully. There it is. And be tight. As Tom said, don't force it, get a bigger hammer. I took away very, very little. But sometimes that very little can be a problem. And this is where we have to just take it easy. This is the hardest part of the box, is fitting off the lid. A bit more, got a bit of tape on it. I'll be very careful here. Make sure the grain matches. I think it looks good there. I left the hammer home, Tom. Pretty dry, this wood. It'll be a bit different to the woods I use from Australia because they're really not that dry. Everybody asleep there? I took away nothing, but that nothing could mean something.
You said what you have in Australia is wetter. Does it give you a little, does it compress just slightly, or does it just...
What do you say? You people talk funny over here. That's just, I'm trying to get a nice fit. If this is 10 years old, it should be dry. What I normally do is I make my lid really tight, because coming over here, it dries the whole body out, I've been gasping for air for a week. So I'm going to try and make this a nice fit now. Normally I do knock it on. And when I take the inside out, it reduces the box. I made a box the other day and it was a really nice tight fit. By the time I finished, the lid fell off. And for me, a lid falling off, it's a no-no. You should be able to take the lid off it. Because if you put something in it, you pick the box up, the lid falls off. It falls out of your hands. So, we'll try and find a match here. That's dim enough. Should put that hammer on top. Damn thing. trying to slow down, otherwise it's done in 20 minutes. Any questions at all?
Yeah, when you were the finishes, what were the types of finishes you were using?
Pardon?
When you were putting the finish on there, what were you using? I didn't catch the names, I wanted to write them down.
I put a thing called triple E, and then I put another thing with the manufacturer, these U-Butte polishes from Australia. Then I put glow over the top of that, which gives it the shine. The triple E, which has got the cutting compound in it, tends to cut off the waste super glue or the build-up of super glue. The super glue is, I think, the seal. It's like the sanding sealer. And what I'm doing then is I'm really polishing the super glue. Because it's gone into the end grain and it's sealed it off. And which then, I think, as you can see, those boxes were made probably 2 or 3 months ago and they're still tight. Hopefully the weather won't get to it over here and I'll lose it. But I should be good. Just bear with me for a minute till I get this right. This is the hardest piece to do. To get this right, it's very difficult. I know what it is. It's a pop off here. Doesn't matter. Just knock it off. Could be that this is too long. We measure it. Good fun, isn't it? I like this young girl's work. She's going to be big. I'm telling you now. Better buy your tickets now, guys. Lovely, lovely work. I told another girl that 20 years ago, you asked her. Her name is Cindy Droser. Get on there. Same here, Tom. And then when I hit it, now I'd get a piece, just a 400 bit sandpaper. Give it a bit of a touch up. Edge here. Now we use a roughing gouge to Jesus. Go home if you want. I think I made one of these in 20 minutes today. That's what was wrong with it. It was too long. And the other roughing gouge is, this is the best tool for this. Won't leave any marks on the wood. If I use the gouge will leave lines on it. They're nice and shiny at it. That means I'm cutting the wood.
This looks really good too. Do you think we leave something on the wall? Yeah, yeah, this looks pretty crisp.
So have a look and see now how big that, how much I've got left.
Yeah.
which is what I'm looking for, around about a quarter of an inch. Make sure the grain matches. I think that's the grain matching there. Put it back on there. Now we can maybe.
Oh, guys. That's what I'm talking about.
I haven't got the curve I'm looking for.
I think it's focus. It's trying to focus on different things.
That's it. So now we get 180, 240, 320, 400. Colour coded paper. This is 400 grit. The yellow is 180, the blue is 240, and that colour is 320. So I can't make a mistake. It's available through Pastor other people, maybe here, I don't know, but it's actually Richard Grafton's idea. He got the guy in Australia I think he gets it from China, to colour code it, and that way you really can't make a mistake.
Unless you're colorblind.
Pardon?
Unless you're colorblind.
Unless you're colourblind. But then all you have to do is feel it with your fingers. But I tell you what, 80 grit, after you use it, for about 2 or 3 weeks, and it wears down a bit, that's not turning into 240, so. So Coca-Cola jams up your sandpaper, look. Now this is, I'll have to throw this away in a minute. I have a friend of mine goes to a rubbish bin, gets my sandpaper. So that now is finished. Coca-Cola jams up, 180 again. What I'm looking for, there's lines on here. There you are. You have to make sure those lines are all gone. $240 now. $320. And 400. Let me have a look and see if we've got any lines on it. We have these lines all the way around there, all the way around. Because I've used sandpaper, a whole sandpaper, then you can see it. So what we do then is we get a thing called a rotary sander, and we put on there 400 grit. By the time I finish, there won't be a line on there. Still 400 grit. But that thing spins and rotates this one. And I remember in California, especially one guy said, is this thing variable speed? I said, yeah, you turn the motor up and down. So that's got rid of all the marks. Just make sure you have a look. So there's no lines around it. They are there, but they're round, they're like that. If you look close enough, they will see them. So from here, I use the 3-point tool and distinguish where the joint is, and I put a line either side of that. And to do that, we use, again, the 3-point tool. Done that, now we get the super glue again, and a rag, and apply the super glue. stop in one spot. As soon as you stop in one spot, the glue goes off. You see that's gone really hard. So now we can burnish the silver loop. It's perfectly dry now. I use this stuff, I don't know whether they sell this here, start on. That, as soon as you put it on there, it's dry. Okay, so all we need to do now is put our waxes on here. And if we have a problem with wax in the joint, we use a toothbrush, and that will get rid of any excess wood or wax or surgical in there. And now we get the triple E, this one here. I think Penn State bring it into the country. I don't know whether they have it here. And we push that on really, really hard. Make it work. Use the toothbrush. Fingernail. The joint edge. Now we put the glue on. Just really makes it shine.
What is that product again?
It's called glow, G-L-O-W. You guys know it over here as shallow wax. And whether you can see the shiny, really, really shiny here. So we take the lid off. Damn silica's got to it. Use it in there. Come off. There you go. Nice fit, perfect fit. So now we have to hollow out the inside. Some time back, I was having great difficulty in doing an inline box. Like a couple of years ago it was. And the only tool I didn't use was a skew chisel. So I'm going to hollow this out with a skew chisel. With a bit of luck we'll be successful. We're going into end grain. With end grain, remember before we used the skew chisel to get the end grain nice and clean? Well, the skew chisel will do the same here. I use a very small, this is a pen skew. I do not use those oval damn things, they tip over if you want to do this. So you're better off with a chisel that's nice and flat. Just put this back and we push really hard. Anybody do end grain boxes? Good on you, that's the way. Funny noise. Good, let's get moving on me. At the moment, I'm on the bottom, roughly where I want to be. The sides are perfectly smooth. I've got an awful mess right on the bottom. Look at this.
Awful mess.
Can you see the mess? Good. So now I use the long cord of the skew chisel right on the centre and push it to the left. got to the bottom, got rid of the mess. Now I'm going to clean it up. I'm going to go nice back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, until it gets nice and smooth. Taking my time, letting the tool do the work. There's people down there. There's a lump right next to the edge there. Get rid of that. Back and forward, back and forward. I'll get rid of that white pimple down there, I'm done. We've got one nice cut down the side. I'm real white one. We can leave the heavy one. When you hit the bottom, it'll make a noise. I'll hit the bottom. And then back to the forward again. There's a bit of dust in there. When I get to the outside edge, to throw my
Are you on center?
right on centre.
I was going to say dead center.
You feel that now? It's perfectly smooth on the bottom, perfectly smooth down the side. It took about 2 minutes. But the skew chisel has to be really sharp. Just because it's a skew chisel doesn't mean say it's going to work to do that. So my suggestion to you guys, if you're going to do this, make sure that the gouge is very, very sharp. There's a few lines down in there, yes there is, but then again it will take, you know, quite a bit more time to get it right. But if you feel that, can you feel it? Look at me well there. Down the bottom. A little bit of sandpaper now will knock it all over.
You got lucky.
I got lucky.
Huh?
So now we're standing the way again. We start off with a heavy grip. When you're doing the bottom, flat bottom box, of course the flat bottom box is always a lot harder to do than a round bottom box. A round bottom box is quite simple. I have another tool for that if you want to see later. I'll just explain how it works. You put the sandpaper up against your finger, so it bends up like that, so it travels across the bottom. Any questions at all? What about speed of line? Eh? Just fast. The idea though, when you're doing end grain, don't spend too much time on end grain sanding because moisture only basically releases from the end grain. Okay? So the moisture comes out, there's a lot of teeny weeny little heat checks. That's why a lot of my stuff is textured, so you can't see them. So that's 180, 240, 320, 400. That's 320. If you're doing cocoa bowl and you don't want any scratches, use wet and dry with water. I did that about 15 years ago. Wet and dry with water. Won't leave marks on the work. Absolutely none at all. The water does really penetrate the wood. The heat dries it off anyway while you're working it. Yeah, and then 400. That's a beautiful wood in here, haven't I, eh? I just bought some black palm. Don't tell me. I got it for $16. I'd pay $120 for it at home. Black palm. I use it for the inserts. The boxes you see here. A lot of that palm you see there is foxtail palm. The little inserts, little round black dots, foxtail palm tree. If you ever get one to come down, go to it. It's good for inserts. And then we get a toothbrush. We've got that toothbrush, isn't it? On the ground. Doesn't matter. You use the rag. Where is it? You go in there and get rid of the dust. I see a few lines in there, but again it comes down to time. If you want something really good, you really have to put the time into finishing your work. Again, I put the super glue in there, put down the rim here.
You guys probably can't see this very well, but he's not using a huge amount of super glue on this.
Very little.
Very little.
On the rag first. Don't put it on the work like that. It will give you eyeballs. Leave it in the rag. And really, the super glue lasts for a long, long time. As you can see, there's a few lines in there, a few marks. So really, if you see a few lines in there, we can maybe put the little old texture tool in there, and hide that. Shouldn't do this, but you're going to do it anyway. And now in here I've got a spiral in the middle, and a nice little texture on the outside edge. But you won't do that, of course, until we put the finish onto it, and you have a little bit later. You can't get rid of the marks, so I reckon make a feature of it. Works. Plus, we've got people, woodturners that grab someone's bowl, they turn it upside down. I don't know why, but they do. They have a look what it looks like, or whether they want to see the guy's name, or if he worked out how he held it. So that is the super glue. Now we put the glow on of the triple E, which is the cutting compound. I do not put it on for texture. I'm getting away from that. Whereas when I get a little bit on the rag, I just run it over the top of the texture, That way it can't get into the actual my texture and ruin it. Now we put the glow in there, which is the one that actually makes it shine. Any questions? I bet none of you understood what I said. Not one is. Because every now and then I look at you guys and you go and say, what did he say?
I'm standing next to you and asking you that.
A good friend of mine, when I first came out to America many years ago, Dick Wood, who was my best friend and teacher and mentor, he said, just say to him, can't understand and just listen a little bit slower. So far it worked. So let's have a look. So we've got a nice little texture in there. Before I had a dot and a few lines. Okay? So what I've done now, I've hid the damn thing. So really, the texture, when whoever takes the lid off, has to look inside, he gets a surprise. As he does when he looks inside the lid. Another little surprise. Really easy to do that. All you do is you put in there, if you buy one of these tools and you want a spiral effect, you hold the tool above centre. If you want a textured effect, you hold it right on centre. So now we've done our base. Before we do anything now, we're going to finish off our lid. Reason being is, the lid is a bigger opening than the opening of my box. So I'm going to use the same piece of wood. So I do the lid first. Because the size of the jam chuck is bigger, I then reduce the same and I can jam my base. So we'll take that off. I won't hand it around because there's a lot of scratches on it. I'm going to take them off later. So now I have it's my design, my off-centre chuck. I make 9 items with this. When I travel, I can actually use that as faceplate. I can turn a bowl with that. Just one screw. And to do that, we have to put on a piece of wood as the carrier. And then we turn that off with maybe a big skew chisel, a bowl gouge, whatever you want to do. But for me, I like to skew. Just take the corners off first. Take a little piece of wood. Get our burning caliper now, we measure the inside of our lid. There we are. We transfer again the measurement onto our block of wood that's got a few bands in the bit, so we'll get rid of that. Transfer the measurement. Again, we mark the left-hand side, the right-hand side lines up with the left-hand scribe, and I'm in the centre. And now we use the skew again. This has to be very, very tight. So it's going to be rotating off-centre around about 35 millimetres or 40 millimetres. Fits. going to be a good fit. So, to make sure it don't come off, put a bit of tunnel on there. And before you know it, we have to get that hammer in, knock it off, Tom. Let's see if it spins. If it spins and it doesn't do that, we're good. That's good. But rather than waste this piece of wood on the top there, this coca cola is quite expensive, what we do is we get that party tool and part off the lid. Nice piece of wood, and that can go into the top of the box. We don't waste it. So now we're going to turn this thing off centre. About this chuck goes off centre in increments of 4, 8, 12, 16 up to 32. So we're going to put this back to maybe 20. We'll go with 20. That makes it 40 millimetres off centre. 20 this way, 20 that way. What we'll do is we'll get a pencil and we'll mark roughly where the insert's going to go. Pencil. I've got one here. That's it. Hang on here. This gives me time to think what the next step is. Seriously, this? I'll be right. I'm just trying to slow down there because we're only 15 minutes off finishing. There you go. Drop the tool there, tool rest down a little bit. I put a little black mark, and then they'll tell me where the insert's going to be. I might come back a bit, because that'll allow me to put a bit of texture around the actual insert. Now you notice it's very close to the edge. Now if I reduce the size of that, at the moment let's say it's 2 inches. If I cut too much off it and it comes down to 1 3/4 inches, that insert is sticking over the edge. So I'm going to come down to, I think the next one is 16. I'll come down to 16, see how we go with that. Again, I'm going to put a pencil mark where I'm going to end up with the insert. Just a bit harder so we'll know then that where it is the darkest is where the insert's going to be. That's pretty good. So now we're going to turn that off. We're going to turn that off. But what we do is, because it's coming to me off centre, I'm going to travel across to say 45 degrees on an angle. You do not go across, straight across, until maybe the first or second final cut. Get my little bowl gouge here. Make sure it's sharp. And we turn the light on until it looks like it's standing still. A bit faster. That's as fast as it's going. That's what to do. I like it to go faster than that, but we'll see what happens.
You can change the dough.
When you're doing this, you can't look at the tool there. You can't look at the tool. And this tool is fun. You come across a little more, come up. If that's going faster, it will cut better. When it goes slow, if the tool's coming, if the wood's coming with the tool, lift knock the tool away. If it's coming really fast, it doesn't do that.
Oil.
chain of the belt. Won't take one good. Oh, look at that. That's easy or what? Couple of minutes, man. Good to see you. Anybody ever seen a Laguna lathe? The belt on that?
Which one?
Quarter inch?
91?
Yeah. Can't believe it.
They just continued that way.
I use it quite a bit. It works all right. It's good. Nice smooth cut. That's it. I think. That's it. What I'm doing now, I'm going to sand this. I'm going to sand this with a really good idea that I learned in Tom's workshop. This rubber here, just magic. I've been using the whole roll of the sandpaper, but I think this is far better. Nice and firm, nice and tight. Just sand it away. Just sand this stuff, top the sandpaper. Real bad. Now look and see what we've done here. So you can see the paper's clogging up with the oil that it has in it. A bit more of a hurry up here. Right on that shiny mark. If I can't get rid of that mark, I'm going to make a feature of it. New design.
Who makes that chuck for you?
This chuck is available from, I'll tell you later, we get it.
The neoprene?
This is the chuck.
No, the chuck.
The chuck's available from,
The off-center chuck.
the guy who makes it is Vermac. V-R-M-E-C.
Woodworkers Emporium.
Well, it's unfair that I say that because this guy's shop.
No, that's fine.
Pardon?
Fine.
Oh, thank you. Woodworkers Emporium. He's got it all up there. Well, last time I checked he did. The finial on top of the boxes, the blue ones, the finial is done with this chuck, which I'll be doing on Saturday. That particular project is really interesting. For anyone that's a bit technical on how to chuck it. The hardest part, of course, with that is to have to hold it then, to hollow out half the box or half the sphere. You want to know what comes out of it. So now I'll go to 240. If you can't see dust come off, you waste your time. All you're doing is you're burnishing the wood and you're spraying the heat jets. If you can't see dust come off, throw it away. Have a look and see if we've got any marks on here. It's actually got rid of all the marks, it's good. So if I really want to get rid of all the marks, I go back to my rotary sander and you'll see there's a lot of lines on there. There won't be any lines on there when I'm finished. It's pretty hot. I'm going to put an insert in there, a little bit of foxtail palm, gold foxtail palm. I bought a piece a few years ago and I haven't been able to get nothing like it. But I've got some black palm tonight, which is even better. I'm very happy. Thank you very much. So again, I mark the left-hand side, the line I create on the left-hand side lines up the right-hand side, I'm in the middle. If it doesn't do that, you're not in the centre. So now I use a parting tool for this. Because it's about a quarter inch thick, I can go down a quarter inch. So if you look, see if this fits in there. Not yet. Another look. One we get. Now if it gets too loose, I've got bigger bits in the box. When you put an insert in, you can't really have a line around the outside. But something really good's happened. You can buy black super glue. So if you put the black super glue in there, it comes out through where you made the insert too big, and it looks like you got a little bit of ebony around the outside edge of it because it's black. It's not fitting yet, won't go in yet. We'll just take some more off. So that's a good fit. I can take that chuck off there now, and I can put on the lathe bed. I can put super glue in it, like that. I'll get the activator and activate my insert. That'll instantly go off. Instantly go off. Anytime now. Here we go. So now we can put it back. We're going to cut that off. We've got a little line going around the outside edge here, which we have to get rid of. In a minute.
Why did you sand that to 400 before you put in the insert? What, now you're going to have to cut it off and then resand it?
Either way.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes I forget.
Yeah.
I get to my age, I get a bit of dementia.
Tell him mind his own business.
And you forget what you're doing. I seriously, what I do is I leave things, I know where they are, and it gives me time to think. Sometimes you jump the gun, you know, when you, like I actually made the, I actually made the lid, and then I put the, turned the thing on and then did the lid and put it all together, but I didn't hollow out the base. And I did that a couple of times. Excuse me. I can remember I used to do the work in wood shows around Australia, and I used to hand the lid around. About 4 times the lid never came back. So I had 4 good bases though, I tell you. It normally happened on Friday when the students came in. So now we'll do some more sanding. Again, I'll only go about 400 grit first. Then I'll use a Rocky sander. Nifty weather. Hope it keeps up. And then I'll use the Rocky sander. I'll put a new disc on there, that's had it.
You didn't have to clean it up.
You guys got one of these things?
I have one different manufacturer.
Pardon?
I have one different manufacturer.
Yeah.
Nice.
Big wood invented that. Big wood, 30 years ago. They also invented the vacuum truck with a big name. So you put sandpaper on something like that, with your hand, you've got marks there straight away. Now this has got a few lines going around it, but it's not too bad. I'm going to texture that now. Let's have a look. No texture with the texturing tool. Now this is where you can really have a lot of trouble. The texturing tool can jump all over the place, and run off and hit the edge off it, and all sorts of things. So if it does that, you guys are going home early. Now we're putting it on a curve. So we have to be very careful that we don't, and again, remember I said before, we've got to go really slow to put the texture on. In this case we don't, because it's off centre. Now if I made it go really slow, it would hit the tool away from where I need to land. So we'll see what damage we do, because that's what this tool basically does, damages the wood. Notice I haven't got it all the way around here, because it's up in here is where I hit first, and the other part is where it doesn't hit at all. So I'm going to try and get that. It's going to be quite difficult. I'm going to try it. Oh. Now I'm going to put a line there with the 3.2. You can't find the 3.2, just use something like this. I'll use this. I think very sharp edge will do the job. Good. Give me both of our blood and out of here. I'm not quite sure, but I think this wood might be affecting me now, I don't know. So again, I'll get the toothbrush, get rid of the dust that's in the texture. I haven't gone all the way around, but that's all right. This particular one's a limited edition.
Number 300, that limited.
100. So now I'm going to put some super glue on that, not while it's rotating though. Just rub it on. Wait for it to dry. It dries pretty quick. It's better on softer woods, like this stuff here, I believe was going to be, I only turned it today, so, look at it going to drop. I used the super glue and the sandpaper thing, they just come up beautiful, really, really nice. Because when it's softer wood or overgrown wood, the super glue sort of bonds it up, makes it really hard, and you get a really nice finish on it. So let's touch that, see if it's a few marks on it. A few marks on that, so what we'll do is, we got some 800 grit. I really want this top to be looking nice. I'll cut the super glue back. And I'll go with the grain. By doing this, this will make this really, really shiny. When you put water or liquid on wood, it always raises the grain. It's basically what the super glue is doing. So now I should get a really nice shiny top. And now we use the triple E. And then we get the glue. Shake it up a little bit. Better if you use a rag when you're doing texturing, because the texture gets into the rag, this particular material gets into the texture and doesn't do it any good. So we have the lid finished. A few marks around there with the rag. We take that off. Bloody tongue will tell you. See that? Wouldn't go on there. You want to grab this? If you can't get it off, use a hammer. See, it works every time. Pretty hard wood, won't damage it. I think. So now we do the base. We then put this back on center with the so this always goes back to center, this chuck. You engineer guys, I'll show you what's in there. It's got little holes in it. So it has to go back to that same hole. and it's got a grub, a high print or a tungsten type grub screw that will hold it in position. So now, we've measured the inside, got the base, transfer that measurement into a waste block. Maybe use a parting tool, part that down to that line, or roughly, or nearly to the line. If you take the line off, which is the exact measurement, it'll be sloppy. It'll fall off. So we're going to leave the line on there. Very good.
Are you tapering?
I've got a bit.
Trying to go short.
Huh?
Are you tapering?
Never taper, don't taper it. Don't taper it. It's like you know those rubber mats you've got and the hole to taper. You taper it because the big hole's got to be only one little hole at the top, so when you lift the mat up, it'll fall off. Exactly the same as this. If this is tapered, the tiny hole at the back, as soon as I put the tool on there, bang, it'll come off. It has to be parallel. Good question. You know, if I didn't know the answer, I would have made something up.
No, figure that.
Look, you're only scratching at it. Okay, you spin out on making something. Whoa. I took away very little, and yet I think it's loose now. It's still imperfect. Bit of tongue oil. They won't come off. Wait for it now to expand you. So you get it on there, it's, you know, if I left it on there the way it was before, I know it would have come off. So now exactly the same as that lid, it'll stay on there. So again, I'm not going to waste this lovely piece of wood. I'm going to part it off. Now if you see me bouncing it at all, when you're jam chucking something, stop. It's got to run through. As soon as I put a tool on there, it's doing that, it'll bounce, hit, whack, come on. You'll catch it. Someone catch it. The other thing about my parting tool is it's got a curve in it. Well, others who buy the basement it's straight up there. Only Azari, the guy from Israel, yes, he's like that. He maintains it runs over the top of the roll. Doesn't jam onto it. And I found that very successful. So again, an insert. You might add $30 to a box. If I've got some nice maple with a little fill in, I'll put this in the top of the maple. Then I'll offset it a little bit more, and I'll put a bit of power insert on the end of it with the chuck. Adds value. Why? It's because it's different. If I may tell you a little story, this thing here, many years ago when I went to, I think it was Florida, to the AAW, I made up my signature boxes. It was asked, tonight Doug asked me, am I going to make a scarlet box? I've made a scarlet box for probably 4 or 5 years. But one of the reasons is, I put this stupid thing here in the instant gallery It sold for $219. And the Eastern Gallery, now it was, what do they put? Anyway, I don't make the skull box anymore, I make these things. Why? It's because it was different. A collector saw it, possibly, and bought it. I've sold quite a few of them. And the other thing is, anything that's different, a collector's item. Because basically, what I'm making here, I feel, I consider. Now, these lovely bowls and things over there, they're utilitarian pieces, they're useful. All these are useless items. What are they for? What are they good for? Maybe a gift, but you can't do much with them. But they're different. So I keep that. And now I'm going to use the skew chisel, and I'm going to do what we call maybe negative ray scraping, back and forward with the skew, or we have another tool here, which is like the skew chisel, but it's like an oval skew, and this hopefully will give me the cut that I need, nice and clean. Right over all the lines. All I'm doing really is just using my body, not my arms. We're going to take nice and gentle. The angle doesn't move, up or down, and I travel across the body. And right over all the high spots and cuts it clean. All we're getting off it is that, dust. So again, now we can sand. Let's sand with the rotary sand on only. That paper's done now. We get a new piece. And we'll see what sort of finish we get. With a big sharp edge on it. I'll sand that back a little bit. I've cut myself several times with this on the edge of the box. So that's pretty good. All those scratches are basically nearly all gone. My sandpaper is finished because of the wood. We'll get another one. Do it again. Now I'm going to use a texturing tool, but because I'm on a flat surface and it's running nice and true, I just lay the load down. I'm going to put one in the middle that's going to be a spiral. I'll hold the tool above centre. I'll put one on the outside, which will be just a texture. Now on the outside. Where did I put that line? Is where there was a mark. So I'm hiding it with the texture. Just deal with those 3-point tools. You sure? There it is. Thank you very much.
Stop looking there.
You're the man. What I'm doing is I'm putting a line either side of the texture, confining it within a line. Then it makes it more pronounced. So let's have a look and see what it looks like. So this is the spiral in the middle, texture on the outside. Now we need a rag, a toothbrush, brush that out. Get a new rag, step of glue. See how quick I went on there? It comes straight off. Stand away from it, makes a lot of smoke. Let it smoke this fire. Sometimes. Gets up your nose. friend of mine, Terry Scott, ended up in hospital for 2 weeks. He was in the confined area in his workshop. He used 2 bottles of super glue and burnt the back of his throat. So if you're going to do this, be very, very careful. Now it's dry. Dead dry. So we put the triple E on there. Get them laid up so we get a bit of heat, melt the wax. There we go. Got the wrong side. I hope you didn't get this bit.
So why is it okay to put the triple E on your texture here and not on the inside when you did it before?
You know? Jesus. I forgot. Why you tell me?
Damn. Just hold it.
Just hold the light, be quiet.
Easier to get it off on the outside, you can't get in to reach it and tap. Just watch it.
What I'm doing now, I'm using some triple E to get a bit of excess wax that was on there before. Might have been the wax that was on there, but you can still scratches there. Better? I hope you guys will have as much fun as I have tonight. Thank you very much.
The dings in the lid make it look a little better now.
Yeah.
Makes it look more like one
Yeah,
here.
this thing,
It's still a limited edition.
Yeah.
you'll note that it's very tight, the lid.
Yeah.
It's got I've got a mark on here. There's a new product that's not on the market yet. I just might show you that. It's called Aussie oil. It's a white on oil, believe it or not. As we put the camera onto it. And when I'm travelling, of course, all your stuff tends to go dull a little bit. So what I'll do is, it's the only bottle I've got too, so all you people are going to be frisked before you go out the door tonight. And all it is, if you have a look, all you do is you rub it on. And the harder you rub, the shinier it becomes. Look at that.
Wow.
It was shiny before. It's going to be on the market, I think, in the next, I don't know, whenever, but anyway. I asked Neil if I could take some over, because I know, you know, when you get different temperatures and altitudes and stuff, things tend to wear off, and the more you rub it, the shinier it becomes. So there you are, folks. Thanks again. It's very, very good. We've got, can we make anything else? Do you want me to make something else? Or? We need a bit of wood.
Well, quitting time.
Good time. Thank you very much.